Warm Down Pod with Jose and Sasi.
The Warm Down Pod is brought to you by SW Strategies and Fight Zone and is recorded at 24A Am Siang Road. Trigger warning, this recording may include harsh words, and we apologize in advance if you are offended.
Welcome back, Sasi. This is How Was Your Pee Break? My name is Jose Raymond, and with me is Sasi Darren Unitan, and we are back for the second part of this Singapore Premier League end of season special. We already had discussed in the first episode, a whole bunch of things which happened in the season, the highlights, the lowlights, some of the points which we'll always remember.
Yeah.
But I think this episode is going to be a lot more about solutions, right? Because we all know that there are so many issues with the league, so many problems, so many cock-ups and shenanigans. But this episode is going to be about what can be done to improve the league, and what does it take. So, Sasi, the SP was started in 1996. Former Prime Minister Koh Chiap Tong is the one who launched it back then. And it came at the back of Singapore being kicked out of the Malaysia Cup and National League competition.
Yes.
SP was born in 1996.
It was that year, it was so exciting, right?
We are now in 2026. Just for memory's sake, right? 1996, the league was launched. 1998, Asian economic crisis. 1999, legalized betting was started on the league.
Yeah.
And then in the course of the last 30 years, we've had teams come and go. We've had the Chinese teams, Liao Ning, they've had Sporting Afrique. We've had the Malaysian Tigers in the league before. We've had Tua FC. We've had so many teams come and go. Right now, in 2026, we are called the Singapore Premier League. But my point has always been it's hardly Premier.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in your view, what can be done or should be done to improve on the state of football in Singapore in the local Premier League or the local league?
Okay, so my first thought process is you got to fix the fan base coming to attend. I don't think we have lack of people that are interested in football. It's how we get to, if LCS, Albirex, and Tampines can fill their stadiums, why can't the other teams, right?
They're not filling the stadiums on every single game. It's only like the last match of the season, there was a lot of people because it was the last match of the season. But it's not the entire game. I mean, you think about it, throughout the entire season, the state of the spectatorship has been flat.
Yeah.
And something which I've been asking is we should make the spectator numbers public so we can at least have a proper conversation.
Yeah.
Or maybe what we should do as a project for next season, Sasi, is we should go to the matches and physically talk.
My first thought process is there has to be a centralized team that plans what happens at every game, all the marketing happens. Because if you depend on your clubs to do it, it takes a lot of time, right? We are not matured enough to run a club like a company, I feel. Because it is quite sad. It is definitely a weakness of leadership. Either we get new leaders in, and if it's a problem of funding initially, if we can come up with a centralized team that does this centrally for most clubs will contribute to that sustaining of that activity. I think if you make every game that is interesting to go to, you don't just go to a stadium. And recently I went for the national under 19 game. Like it's 4-0. Yeah. They go the stands, that one stand at Jalan Besar, not the opposite stand. That one stand was 70% full. Decent, right? Because people want to watch. And we are talking about people for all walks of life, old people sitting there screaming, shouting. So there are people that want to watch the games, right? There are people that want to go support their teams. First of all, obviously, I hope that we get down to giving the club a proper stadium so that they can walk the ground around the area. My wish list has obviously add 2 more teams at least. Make it 10. Eventually, my wish list has, obviously, you need promotion, demotion, right? The NFL, if it's competitive enough, so you got to build up the NFL as well. It has to be competitive enough, right?
I don't know how long it's going to take for us to even get to a promotion relegation. I think in 2017, before the elections for office bearers and the Football Association of Singapore, one of the former leaders, one of the former vice presidents actually said, we should be starting promotion relegation. Up to now, they're still discussing it like it's within 10, 20 years. But the facilities-wise, this whole sharing of stadiums bullshit, I think cannot go on anymore, because how do teams even connect with the community? And hopefully the new Toa Payoh recreation, the Spice Sports and Recreation Center, which is being built, the new Punggol Sports and Recreation Center, which is going to be open this year, hopefully we've got two teams which will be able to occupy those stadiums and start working the fan base around that. Albirex has been in Jurong East since 2003. And you can see what we've done with the community, right? They are almost part of the community, and they've also engaged with the Yuhua grassroots. They've done in the grassroots. I mean, we spoke about the fact that they also have organized local youth competitions and all that. The other clubs need to be able to do that too. And I don't think you're going to be able to do it when you're sharing stadiums because identity is lost. Second, if you don't have a place to call your own and you cannot organize events, you can't do things which actually brings the community together.
I think one of the age groups you really got to work on that get interested in your games is the people that play football at the teenage years, right? They will rush their games, right? So if you are able to work the ground and be an identity, right? I'm studying in Bishan or Chuan Presbyterian. There, I'll go and support the team that plays in Bishan. If I'm studying Hougang, I go and support the team that plays in Hougang, right? If I'm around Toa or we go to, the teams that done well, you go to the Lion City Sailors game, right? That the tackle that happened where the Tampines fans were going at the Lion City Sailors fans, I find it hilarious, why? Because the Lion City fans are all families. Families that come in, foreigners that come in to have a good time. Right, you show them the middle finger. Nobody's gonna get angry and it's going away, right?
I don't know what exactly happened there, but something must have triggered the Tampines fans to go and show middle finger and go and start fighting, right? Or maybe something is in the air in that area. I don't know. The issue is you're gonna be able to do a lot more if you have more funding or more money. And when I say funding, I'm not expecting that more money should be doled out or given to them on a platter, right? Clubs need to be able to get out and earn money on their own. So I think there are only few revenue streams for clubs, right? The revenue streams for all football clubs around the world are almost similar. Broadcast rights. Okay, in Singapore, you don't have broadcast rights because it's all free to air and it's on YouTube. Then you got ticket sales for spectators. Okay, even then, you and I know very well that doesn't really work out well because not many people are paying and the stadiums are not full every season, every match. And then the merchandising, don't think are doing that well in merchandising except maybe for sailors, but even then it's just shirts, right? Merchandising is a lot more than that, right? Then you got sponsorships, and then you can realize there are some matches where there are 0 ports around the stadium. It looks like a school game. So what does it tell you? Out of the few pillars for fundraising, our clubs only are utilizing maybe 2, and even then, ticket sales is not exactly going to be able to cover their costs.
Yes, correct.
So therein lies the problem, right? Sponsors don't come in because there's not enough eyeballs. And then you don't do enough to improve your product. And then there's not enough excitement. Fans are not going to come out.
The first thing is increasing the percentage of, yes, I know we do not have broadcast money right now. But are we not going to make a plan that 10, 15 years from now, we have big enough pool of people wanting to watch our games that they can pay minimum fee for broadcast rights? You get what I mean? Do we want to be on MeWatch YouTube forever?
I'm home.
No, right? No, but the sad thing is, but 15 years from now, I'll be 62.
15 years from now, I'll be 40. All thanks to how I keep fit. I don't look like I'm whatever age you know my age. Of course not. Look at me, man.
I agree with you. So my thought process is really, you have not.
I've not gone for work.
Yes. So what my thought process is, do we want to be broadcast money? Do we want to not have broadcast money?
Of course, we need to have broadcast money at some point. Of course, we know
Is this?
the league must have a plan to be able to help clubs with, money from Singapore pools because it's a right for them, for football to have it's a right for football in Singapore to have a share of the revenues which are earned through Singapore pools. It's a right? And how much money is then rolled out from FAS to the clubs is dependent on how much FAS wants to give them. But so you've got that pool of money. But then in order for them to be able to get out and get fund broadcast money, the league needs to be lifted.
There was something that will make you say, the leadership did a good job in the next few years.
Next few years.
If they were to change something, please don't. What is you're getting ready? What is that one thing?
Higher Firdaus cast. Second, if you really think that if success should be when China and India want to watch our football. So there's a huge demand in China and India to watch our football because those are markets which are huge. They want to watch our football. So maybe this FIFA ASEAN Cup in which our Bota Iman is actually starting right? Which involves Singapore and which involves ASEAN countries as well, involves China and Hong Kong and India. Maybe there's one window where that market is one. What is this guy is doing in Singapore, right? So they should be demanding. I want to have rights to watch this football. I want to watch this because I didn't know that there was football in Singapore, and I didn't know that Ajilis Lamas playing in Singapore is a great place.
If you look at our neighboring countries, right? The first step to getting a bit more recognition on the Asians obviously get a good national team.
Yeah. But we're the Asian. What? So, so I think it's one step. People will be wondering, what these countries the same way? Cape Verde and Curacao is going to be what? People will be wondering, who the fuck are It's also bullshit. There's 8 teams in the World Cup, and then they're talking about increasing it more in the next World Cup. Hey, may as well just have 200 teams take part in the World Cup. Everyone is taking part in the World Cup. What is going on? Anyway, so yes, you're right. We Asian Cup, right? Obviously, then people will be interested. But even if you're the Asian Cup, there are countries in the Asian Cup where we don't bother about what's happening in their local leagues. Do we bother about what's happening in the Uzbekistan league? No. So it must be really people do want to watch the Saudi Pro League. Why? Because there's Ronaldo. So maybe that's what's needed. People want to be paying some attention to this league. If where it comes to place in Singapore, people fans are what?
Which team is this?
Jermaine Bennett was here. I don't think we
did not capitalize on it.
For Jermaine Bennett actually even say that. I don't think I can say this league. He said it. There's a lot more which needs to be done. So maybe when that happens, but you see, the Saudi Pro League had a lot of influx of really good players around the world, which actually descended on the Saudi Pro League. That's what could happen here.
I think one of the biggest progress is when let's not talk about CR7, right? Like if someone like Ivan Toney can play in the Saudi Premier League and still be considered, he's playing. Let me call him up. So Ivan Toney, I remember in my football WhatsApp chat, some people were, how do you call up Ivan Toney when he's playing the Saudi Premier League and Danny Welbeck has been doing well, right? But when I go back, and it was today that I watched Ivan Toney's Saudi highlights. Oh, guy's brilliant. He was brilliant before he had that fiasco in England and then he went to Saudi, right? He is still brilliant.
But the thing is, I would say the standard in the Saudi Pro League will be it's lower compared to the English Premier League, for example.
I'm sure it's lower compared to but the players that play are not really your backseat players, right? Everything takes. I mean, if you look at Ronaldo's team, there's money on the right side.
No, I completely agree with you, but which is why I also asked this question about who's paying attention or how are we paying attention to our players or playing in the in the leagues around the region, right? Malaysia. I don't even know how Amirul Ali is doing in Negeri Sembilan, if I'm not wrong, right? And we don't know. I don't know how Anu is doing, right? I don't know how the Stewart brothers are doing. Okay, you can keep watching based on stats as well. But we are different because we don't really have that much talent. We don't have that much talent to rely on. And I suppose our assumption is also if our players are playing first 11 in a Thai league or Malaysian league in the first 11, obviously they are good enough to be fielded. That means they are of considerable standard. Which is why there's no dispute about them being called up. Our dispute, which has always been my dispute has always been, how come only one of the young lions is being called up to the national team? And shouldn't you be like giving them opportunities to start understanding what's it like to take a step up? So, but anyway, that's a separate discussion altogether. In terms of doing better for the league, so you said obviously being able to raise more revenue, being able to have the demand for our league matches around the world. So there's broadcast rights fees.
So Jose, sorry to stop you in between. I think if you rank it in terms of importance, the eyeballs are number one. Because if you get the eyeballs, you will get the sponsors. Right. So looking at the eyeballs should be my most important thing. At the end of the day, if you look at obviously you got the sailors and then you got clubs playing in Toa Payoh. I mean, let's say it comes to fruition that there's a club in Toa Payoh, right? There is an expat community that stay in Toa Payoh, Novena, everywhere else that has an outlet to go watching it, right? So if you are in Europe or if you are in America, for one thing, America is a country that have so many sports being number one, only in their country, with their own people watching, right? Because they have a culture that people spend their time to go for sports. Yeah.
Like culture is almost like religion.
Yeah.
Our religion in Singapore is actually queuing up for stuff.
Yeah.
And looking for Pokemon.
Yes.
Just right. So just I agree, improves the eyeballs, might raise more money.
Yeah.
Promotion relegation is a must because if not, there's no
think-
impetus for teams to do better.
I think at this point, we know, we understand that promotion relegation cannot be done in the next year or the next 2 years. I accept that. But can you please set the timeline?
And if I look at things if I do a bit of a comparison to what Shopee tried to do, right? Shopee tried to conquer the world, starting off with the region by pushing their brands into the market so that people get to know about the brand so that it will become one of the biggest online marketplaces in the world. Correct. So it's so bad that it's still in my mind. But anyway, but it's a strategy. You essentially go to every market and you try to become the biggest online marketplace in the world. There was a plan. The same person who runs Shopee, is the president of FAS right now. Are you telling me that he's not going to be able to push for the local league or Singapore clubs to be seen in the region? If he wants to, he can. Because I think he's got the avenue and the platform to do it. Maybe by sponsoring the Shopee Cup, he's trying to do that. But I think you are right. I think Singapore's only got 6 million. There's limited eyeballs. Our eyeballs are actually out there in the world. And the emphasis should be on getting foreign fans to follow Singapore football. That's critical.
I have to admit that I actually watched the semi-finals of the Shopee Cup. JDT that never lost for so many years and lost to a very disciplined Burira, right? Very disciplined. It was so disciplined that JDT fans started walking out in the 82nd minute. And I was so impressed. And the return leg at Burira was so damn exciting. I was watching it on my iPad and I'm like, oh my God, JDT was pounding Burira. That was, and I thought to myself, if LCS was in this, the amount of people that will be watching this is immense. And that is how we get in. That is how we get into the region where your Singapore teams like JDT going to another country now. You obviously know JDT is coming, right? You know that JDT might only have one playboy on their team playing, but at the end of the day, it is a Malaysian team. So regardless, I think raising the standards of all the different teams, right? Sailors are going to get stronger for sure. Are they going to, and Albirex always punch above their way. Are we going to get the rest of the teams up, right? Are we going to up our standard in NFL? Because if we don't increase, and we don't get some recognition for playing in NFL, the promotion relegation is never going to be talked about. If you don't fix the no lines issue on the field, right? If you don't give the priority, it's never going to be talked about.
But I take a different view about Lion City Sailors actually. Unless they make major changes to the team, I don't think they're going to improve any better. I don't think they're going to get any better than what they are currently at right now. You know why? It is all other teams around the world, around the region, especially the Asian teams, the continental teams, the big teams, are getting better. You watch the ACL, the Champions League matches, the finals, even the ACL 2 finals. You watch Buriram versus JDT. You see, even a Thai team like Buriram is able to beat JDT. You know what? I don't think we are at that level yet. Not even Lion City Stars. And I hope to be proven wrong. But unless the team is going to be improved in terms of its personnel based on the field, I don't think we are up to mark even against the best Thai clubs or the best Middle Eastern clubs. And I don't even think. Can you imagine? Let me put it very simply. Right? Where do we even stand against the current winners of the ACL2, Gamba Osaka? We're nowhere. No way are we going to be able to challenge Gamba Osaka. Okay, and that's a reality. I hope we're proven wrong, right? So I think that it takes a lot more for LCS to actually LCS as a club to challenge at a continental level. So there's so many things which need to be sorted out. So we talked about eyeballs, we talked about promotion relegation, increasing the base, we talked about facilities of these clubs. clubs need to have their own facilities so that they're able to build with around the community. I think apart from that, Island-wide league, SFL2, L1, SPL, all of these need to be raised. Standards need to be raised. We just mentioned, right? Island-wide league.
All this, it falls under responsibility of FAS.
Even Island-wide league, you cannot just call one of your competitions in your roster, and then teams are taking part, and then they're going there and there are no lines in the field, their nets are torn. It's just not. It shows that you don't respect the game enough.
Yeah.
Even though you're the governing body, you don't respect the game enough. You don't respect the players and the officials to actually take the time to actually prepare and to take part in competition. And what is it? So, from a leadership perspective, also, there's still a lot of introspection to be done where they need to get better. Because if they don't get better, simple things, how do you even have them think a lot further?
Yeah.
So you see the conundrum, right? So I don't think they're the right people to take football forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Also, coming back to what we spoke about, Nathan Mao. Nothing against Nathan Mao, is a fantastic player. Is he ready to be called up? I think it's not the time yet because there are players that are putting in a lot of effort now who are performing better at this point. Right. So, but then if you go into the scenario that, Nathan Mao deserves exposure, he needs to go to a bigger league, he needs to go to somewhere else. And Singapore being, you're 18, and if a big club is going to look at Nathan Mao, are you a national player? That's the first question. So I think somehow the problem is being solved, right? Whether it's right or not, the problem is being solved. But I'm just going to tell you guys that's not the biggest problem we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest problem is the league, right?
Yeah. And I think we'll talk and saying this is probably that's where you learn what people right. Giving him an opportunity so that he can score when we get got it.
Yeah.
It's a commercial.
It's a commercial decision. And with LCS's model, that's I feel the only way they're going to return their investment in all the development it does for players if a couple of players get sold.
Yeah, so they need to be on the market, right?
They need to be on the market, and this is putting Nathan Mao on the market.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So I agree. So
But it is done.
the decision is being touted.
Yes. I
And
agree.
that's, to me, you ask me, I think that's something which needs to be questioned, right? And we're not the only one. I'm not the only ones questioning it. Others can see it, and they're probably also wondering, what has he done which has wowed everybody? The answer is he's not. Like I said, he's never said I've got nothing against him. But I think in order to build a system where people trust you and have confidence in, you have got to be able to justify your decisions.
Yeah.
And anyway, so with a lot of football happening, we're gonna have a World Cup. We're gonna have after that. There's first the Singapore versus Mongolia versus China.
Yeah.
There's 2 friendly matches in June, and then we've got the World Cup, and then we've got the ASEAN.
I absolutely love watching games at Jalan Besar, because we are so close to the field, right?
And then we will have the start of the 2026-2027 season for the SPL, and the whole season starts all again. So, what is that one wish which you hope will come true before the next season begins for the Singapore Premier League? What's the one thing you hope will happen?
One thing I really hope will happen is they add 2 more teams.
I don't think it's going to happen. It's the IFC.
I don't know who, at the end of the day, obviously there's been talk about Tanjung Pagar getting a new leadership. Right? They're doing the right things, but I was listening to a Vincent Buscott interview, and he's played 3-4 rounds. Every time one season goes past, he feels as though I've been here 3-4 seasons already. Please, how do you drive yourself how do you motivate yourself to give a show, right?
And then stadiums are empty. How do you, then you got fucked up referees. How do you even motivate yourself to stay in this country when the football is like that? As a player.
Man, my process is, you don't attract, right? Kizuka Honda comes in, Alvarez is run well. But once he sees the state of the league, once he starts playing that, and then he's, myself, I stay in Singapore, do my other businesses, and not play football.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think Honda is here just for the football. I think Honda is also here because he can do other stuff. Anyway, Honda is 105 years old.
Yeah.
He is right about that, right?
Yeah, he probably uses Botox.
All right, Sasi. So before we end, what exactly is your fitness tip for this week?
fitness tip for this week. What I want to talk about is mobility, where you do power movements, right?
Okay.
I see a lot of trainers coaching their clients and saying that, oh, the knees cannot go past your toes. If not, you put a lot of strain in your patella joint and then you hurt your knee. It has been something that I've seen for so many years, right? But the truth is, when you jump, your knee goes past your toes, right? When you do impact movements, your knee goes past your toes, right? So when you see, even when we talk about football, right, to prevent injuries, you don't do static movements. When you train like your own athlete. You don't need to be a super athlete, but train with purpose and do plyometrics, do jumps, right? Train you to face your everyday life, right? And I was actually teaching someone today, not today, a couple of days back, on the importance of hip mobility. Because your hip joint is the most important joint, I feel. You screw that up, that gets immobile, you can't run, you can't jump, you have the risk of your osteoporosis setting in as you age, right? All movements I'm talking about is jumping, right? So how do you plyometrics, where you hop, you jump, you get on a box jump, right? You do different things. You fall or you jump and fall on your feet, right? These things teach your bones to absorb shock, teach your joints to get stronger, teach your tendons to get even stronger compared to just do stationary work, riding on a stationary bike, just doing your normal stuff, right? So coming to that, right? My one advice I want to give everyone else: you are getting fit, you're on a fitness routine, that's perfectly fine, but start the sport. I find zone why we do it like a sport, right? Is because you need that excitement. You need to train like an athlete, right? That's what I mean. No matter what you're doing, no matter where you're starting, train like an athlete. Don't look at yourself as, oh, I'm starting out now, I cannot do this. Oh, go out and do it, right? Go out and play a game of whatever, right? And same time, if you're a weekend warrior, please don't go out and just not warm up. I've seen people, weekend warriors, play more, right? Yeah. The guy comes in, sits down, rolls his sector a couple of times, okay, back on the field already. Yeah. Seriously, yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, get some power movements. Please be bounding. Please be jumping up and down. Do things that actually you don't have impact. When the impact comes, it's not going to hold up.
Agree. Okay, so the only thing I remembered from this, what you just told me, is work on your hips because the hips don't lie.
Amazing how you get.
All right, Sasi, and to all our listeners, thanks very much for listening to us again for this episode of the Warm Down Pod. We'll be back in a week's time. So in the meantime, see you at the Singapore versus Mongolia and Singapore versus China matches. Please say hi when you see us.
You guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Warm Down Pod with Jose and Sasi.
The Warm Down Pod is brought to you by SW Strategies and Fight Zone. Tune in again next week for another episode.